This video is for educational purposes only and does not constitute professional medical advice. Please consult with your doctor or a qualified healthcare specialist before starting any new vitamins or supplements mentioned in this video. Use of this information is at your own risk. Do you want your children to have to carry you to the bathroom? It sounds harsh, but for millions over 60, that reality is one slip away. Your leg muscles are silently wasting away right now. It's not aging, it's starvation. You can stop the decay, or you can become a burden. It takes exactly 3 seconds to lose your independence forever. A single stumble on the bathroom tile, a momentary lapse in focus while descending the stairs. You reach out to grab the railing, but your grip isn't what it used to be. Your legs, once the sturdy pillars of your life, buckle underneath you without warning. The silence that follows is deafening. In that agonizing moment, staring at the ceiling, realizing you cannot get up on your own, you cross a terrifying threshold. You transition from being the provider, the protector, the independent adult, to being the patient, the dependent, the burden. It is a harsh, brutal reality to confront, but for millions of people over the age of 60, this isn't just a nightmare. It is a future waiting to happen. Statistics tell us that half of all seniors who suffer a hip fracture never regain their ability to walk independently. But here is the secret that most doctors won't tell you directly. The fall didn't happen because of the floor. It happened because your body had been whispering warnings to you for years, and you didn't know how to listen. Welcome to EldraFit Nutrition. It's a pleasure to have you with us today. If you are determined to rewrite this story, if you refuse to let a number on a calendar dictate your freedom, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel right now. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a strategy that could save your mobility. Your support empowers us to keep bringing you these life-saving insights. Now let's silence the noise and focus on the truth. You drop a set of keys and it takes you a few seconds too long to bend down and pick them up. You feel a wave of exhaustion after climbing a single flight of stairs. You find yourself looking at the ground when you walk, consumed by a quiet, nagging fear of tripping. Society tells you that this is normal. They say, well, you're getting older, slow down. That is the most dangerous lie you can believe. These are not signs of aging. These are distress signals. This is your body shouting that your muscles are starving, that your neural connections are fading, and that your internal foundation is eroding. This condition has a name, sarcopenia. It is the thief that steals your muscle mass, your strength, and eventually your dignity. But here is the good news that modern science has finally confirmed. Sarcopenia is not a destiny. It is a consequence. It is the result of missing inputs. Many people believe that age is an unstoppable force, that nothing can change the decline. Wrong. Your body is a miraculous machine that retains the ability to repair and rebuild itself until your very last breath, provided you give it the right materials. We are not talking about expensive pharmaceutical drugs with a list of side effects longer than your arm. We are not talking about joining a hardcore gym and lifting heavy weights that your joints can't handle. We are talking about nature's pharmacy. In this video, we are going to explore a specific protocol involving 5 powerful fruits. These are not random selections. They are biological keys chosen to unlock your body's ability to recover, to build strength, and most importantly, to get your independence back. We will learn how to combine them to help your muscles recover, reduce the inflammation that makes you stiff, and power up the energy generators in your cells. Before we dive into the first fruit, I want you to pause and reflect on your own mindset, because that is where the healing begins. I have a question for you, and I want you to be honest with yourself. Which of the following statements best describes your attitude toward aging today? A. I believe that slowing down and becoming weaker is a natural, unavoidable part of life that I must accept. B. I believe that with the right nutrition and habits, I can stay strong, active, and independent well into my 80s and 90s. Please leave a comment below with your answer, A or B. Let's see how many of us are ready to fight for our future. To understand why your legs fail you, we must first look at the incredible distance between your brain and your feet. It is the longest journey a nerve signal has to travel in your entire body. When you stumble, it is rarely because you didn't see the obstacle. It is often because the command from your brain to lift your toe arrived a fraction of a second too late. Your internal wiring is fraying, not from overuse, but from a lack of conductive minerals. This brings us to our first nutritional ally, a fruit often dismissed as merely a sugar source, but which is actually a sophisticated tool for your nervous system, the banana. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at holding on to key electrolytes, specifically potassium and magnesium. These are not just nutrients, they are the electrical currency of your body. Without sufficient potassium, the nerve impulses that control your balance become weak and static-filled, like a radio losing its signal. A single banana delivers a potent surge of potassium that acts as a signal amplifier, ensuring that when your brain commands your leg to move to correct a wobble, the muscle responds instantly. Furthermore, the magnesium found in bananas is critical for preventing those agonizing night cramps that disrupt the deep sleep your legs need to recover. To harness this, do not just eat a banana randomly. Pair it with a protein source, like Greek yogurt, about 30 minutes after a walk. This specific timing replenishes the glycogen in your leg muscles while the protein begins the repair process. However, a strong signal is useless if the engine itself is broken. Have you ever felt that sensation where your legs feel as heavy as lead, making every step feel like you are wading through mud? That is not laziness. That is mitochondrial dysfunction. Mitochondria are the microscopic power plants inside your muscle cells. After 60 years of work, many of these power plants have burned out or shut down, leaving your leg muscles starving for energy. This is where the blueberry enters the picture as a profound biological intervention. Blueberries are unique because they contain high levels of anthocyanins, compounds that do something almost miraculous. They don't just protect your cells, they stimulate a gene known as PGC1 alpha, which essentially orders your body to build new mitochondria. You are literally retrofitting your old muscle cells with new generators. By consuming just half a cup to 1 cup of blueberries daily, perhaps in a morning smoothie, you are gradually increasing the horsepower of your quadriceps and calves, allowing you to walk further without that crushing fatigue. Yet there is one final piece to this operating system. You can have a strong signal and a powerful engine, but if the fuel lines are clogged, nothing moves. Your legs fight gravity all day, requiring a strong flow of blood to bring oxygen down and push waste products back up. Aging hardens our arteries, restricting this flow, which leads to cold feet, numbness, and slow reaction times. The pomegranate is nature's answer to this logistical challenge. It is a potent nitric oxide booster. Nitric oxide is a molecule that relaxes and widens your blood vessels, effectively turning a narrow country road into a superhighway. Drinking just 4 to 6 ounces of pomegranate juice 30 minutes before you plan to be active opens up the vascular pathways in your legs. This ensures that every step you take is fueled by a rich supply of oxygenated blood, keeping your movements fluid and your footing secure. While we have upgraded the energy and signaling systems of your legs, we must now address the invisible enemy that attacks the very structure of your body: inflammation. Imagine trying to run a complex machine while someone is constantly throwing sand into the gears. That is what chronic inflammation does to your joints and muscles. It is a persistent, low-grade fire that slowly degrades your cartilage and keeps your muscles in a state of stress, making every movement stiff and painful. This condition, often called inflammaging, creates a hostile environment where repair is impossible. To extinguish this fire, we turn to the tart cherry. Tart cherries, specifically the Montmorency variety, are not just fruit. They are potent anti-inflammatory agents. They work by turning down the volume on the specific enzymes that cause pain and swelling in your knees and hips. But their role goes even deeper. They are one of the few natural sources of melatonin. You might wonder what sleep has to do with your legs. The answer is everything. Your structural tissues, the bone, the tendon, the muscle fiber, do almost all of their rebuilding during deep, slow-wave sleep. If you are not sleeping deeply, you are not healing. Drinking a glass of tart cherry juice in the evening does double duty. It washes away the inflammation of the day and guides you into the restorative sleep your legs desperately need to function tomorrow. Finally, we arrive at the most critical challenge: stopping the wasting away of muscle mass itself. It is a biological fact that as we age, our bodies become resistant to the signals that tell muscles to grow. You could eat protein all day, but if the grow switch is turned off, it won't matter. This is where the humble apple, specifically its skin, and the cranberry become essential. They contain a waxy compound called ursolic acid. Ursolic acid is fascinating because it mimics the cellular effects of lifting weights. When you consume it, it triggers a pathway that essentially tricks your muscles into thinking they are being exercised, helping to preserve mass even when you are at rest. It reduces the expression of genes that cause muscle atrophy. Think of it as a chemical anchor that holds your muscle mass in place, preventing it from drifting away. To make this work, consistency is key. Eating an apple with the skin on, perhaps paired with some almond butter to help absorption, sends a daily signal to your thighs and glutes. Stay strong. We are not done yet. By integrating these structural guardians into your routine, you are doing more than just feeding yourself. You are constantly maintaining the chassis of your vehicle, ensuring it remains robust enough to carry you through any terrain life presents. Now that we have identified the tools, we must discuss the craftsmanship of using them. Knowledge alone is not power. It is only potential. To truly rebuild your legs, you cannot simply eat these fruits at random and hope for the best. You need a strategy, a protocol that respects the biological rhythms of your body. We call this the leg protection protocol, and it relies on two pillars: timing and pairing. Timing is about synchronizing nutrition with need. Your body is not a static vessel. It is a dynamic system that requires different inputs at different times. In the morning or before you take your daily walk, your primary goal is preparation and flow. This is the window for your pomegranate juice or your banana. You are preloading your system with potassium for stability and nitric oxide for circulation, ensuring that when you ask your legs to move, the resources are already there waiting. Conversely, the evening is for repair. This is when the tart cherry juice and the apple become your medicine. By consuming them an hour or two before bed, you provide the raw materials for the night shift workers, your cells, to patch up the wear and tear on your joints and muscle fibers while you sleep. The second pillar is pairing. Nature rarely works in isolation. Many of the most powerful compounds we have discussed, like the ursolic acid in apple skin or the fat-soluble vitamins that support muscle health, are barely absorbed if eaten alone. They need a vehicle. This is why we never eat fruit naked. Always dress your fruit with a partner. If you are having an apple, slice it and dip it in almond butter. If you are having blueberries, drop them into a bowl of full-fat Greek yogurt. The healthy fats and proteins act as a carrier, transporting the vital nutrients across the intestinal wall and into the bloodstream where they can do their work. Finally, we must cement this into your life using the psychology of habit. Willpower fades, but systems last. Do not rely on your memory. Use the win-then formula to automate your success. Tell yourself, when I put on my walking shoes, then I will drink my pomegranate juice. When I turn off the TV at night, then I will have my tart cherries. By linking a new nutrition habit to an existing behavior, you bypass the struggle of decision-making. You stop treating food as a chore and start treating it as a non-negotiable part of your maintenance routine, just like brushing your teeth. Look down at your legs for a moment. Really look at them. They have carried you through decades of life. They have walked you down the aisle, marched you through difficult careers, and stood firm while you held your children and perhaps your grandchildren. They have been your silent partners in every adventure and every hardship. Now, they are asking for your help. They are not asking for much, just the right fuel to keep serving you. The fear of that life-altering fall, the dread of becoming a burden, the anxiety of losing your autonomy. These are valid feelings, but they do not have to be your future. You have the power to change the trajectory of your aging process. It is not written in stone. It is written in your daily choices. You now possess a toolkit that is simple, accessible, and scientifically proven. You have the banana to steady your nerves, the blueberry to recharge your energy, the pomegranate to open your pathways, the tart cherry to soothe your joints, and the apple to guard your strength. This is not just about eating fruit. This is about defiance. It is about defying the narrative that says you are finished. It is about looking at a flight of stairs and seeing a pathway, not an obstacle. It is about waking up in the morning and trusting your body to carry you wherever you wish to go. But knowing this protocol changes nothing if you do not act. The most expensive medicine in the world is useless if it stays in the bottle. So I invite you to make a pact with yourself today. Do not try to do everything at once. Pick just one fruit from this list. Just one. Go to the store, buy it, and integrate it into your day tomorrow using the timing and pairing methods we discussed. Start there. That single action is a vote for your independence. It is a declaration that you are not done living on your own terms. If this message resonated with you, if you found value in this roadmap to resilience, please share this video with a friend or a loved one who needs to hear it. Together, we can build a community that stands strong. And before you go, tell me in the comments below, which fruit are you going to start with? I want to know, and I want to cheer you on. Thank you for watching, and remember, stand tall, walk far, and live strong. We have covered a lot of ground today, moving from the microscopic world of mitochondria and ion channels to the tangible reality of your daily life. It can feel overwhelming to think about biology, chemistry, and nutrition all at once. But I want you to take a deep breath and realize that you do not need a PhD to save your health. You simply need to understand one fundamental truth. Your body is unforgiving of neglect, but it is incredibly responsive to care. Many people view their 60s, 70s, and 80s as a time of winding down, a time when the body is expected to break. We need to shatter that paradigm. Think of your body not as a fading machine, but as a classic car. A vintage vehicle does not break down because it is old. It breaks down because the maintenance schedule wasn't updated to match its mileage. You are simply shifting your maintenance schedule. You are moving from a phase of unconscious growth to a phase of conscious preservation. Every time you choose the tart cherry juice over a soda, you are not just quenching your thirst, you are putting out a fire in your joints. Every time you pair that banana with yogurt instead of skipping a meal, you are wiring your nervous system for precision. These seem like small, invisible acts. You won't feel your muscles growing 5 minutes after eating an apple, but biology is a game of compound interest. These small deposits of nutrition, made consistently over weeks and months, accumulate into a fortune of health. One day, 6 months from now, you will encounter a situation that would have previously caused a fall. Maybe you trip on a rug or miss a step. But instead of crumbling, your leg will shoot out, your muscles will fire with explosive power, your balance will hold, and you will stay standing. You might not even realize it in the moment, but that save wasn't luck. It was the blueberry smoothie. It was the pomegranate juice. It was the result of the hundreds of small choices you made when no one was watching. That is the true definition of independence. It isn't just about living alone. It is about trusting yourself. It is the peace of mind that comes from knowing you have done the work to secure your foundation. Deep lesson: the shift from passenger to pilot. The most profound lesson to take away from this is that you must stop being a passenger in your own aging process. A passenger sits back and watches the scenery change, complaining when the ride gets bumpy or the engine starts making noise. A pilot, however, is constantly scanning the instruments, adjusting the fuel mix, and correcting the course. Sarcopenia and frailty are largely the result of passenger mode, letting nature take its course without intervention. The strategy we discussed today is about switching to pilot mode. It teaches us that we can manipulate our biological environment. We can turn genes on and off. We can widen blood vessels. We can trick muscles into maintenance. The lesson is that you have far more control than society wants you to believe. You are not a victim of your age. You are the architect of your vitality. How to apply this today? The +1 strategy. Do not overhaul your entire life overnight. That is a recipe for failure. Instead, apply the +1 strategy. Look at your current diet. Do not subtract anything yet. Do not go on a restrictive diet. Simply add one of the protocols we discussed. Week 1, just add the banana and yogurt snack. That's it. Do that for 7 days until it feels automatic. Week 2, keep the banana and now add the glass of tart cherry juice before bed. By layering these habits one by one, you bypass the brain's resistance to change. You aren't going on a diet. You are simply upgrading your operating system, one app at a time. Let's hear from you. I have a simple question for you today, and I would love to read your answers in the comments. It helps us all see what we are fighting for. What is the one activity you love doing the most, whether it's gardening, dancing, walking the dog, or playing with grandchildren, that you want to protect and keep doing for the next 20 years? Please type your answer below. Your goals inspire this community. And finally, if you believe that your best years are still ahead of you and you want to keep learning how to protect them, please subscribe to ElderFit Nutrition and click the like button. It tells YouTube that this content matters and gives us the motivation to keep researching and creating these videos for you. Thank you for your time, and here is to your strength.